Point of no return, point of no return. Welcome back, man. We know too much. We done seen too much, man. We been through too much. We are experiencing way too much. God to reveal himself to us over and over again for us to go back to the way we used to be, the way we used to think, react, or respond to life, man. It's your Holy Ghost homeboy Slim, SLIMM, simply living in my moment, which means yesterday is gone. Tomorrow's never promised. So all you have is right now, this moment, and I hope you fully living in yours because I'm fully living in mine, man. Just back with another quick word. Signs your life will change. First off, man, I ain't gonna hold you. You gotta get tired of the life that you present and currently in order to even have the sense of the mind state of the perspective to see a new life, because so many people, they don't have their feet in the present because their mind is thinking either about things that has happened, meaning the past, or things that are yet to come, meaning the future. So you missing out on the work and the focus and the lessons that you need right now in order to move past your past and to even have a better future than the today that you're in. So that's number one. You got to get sick and tired of being where you at. And there's a lot of people that say they sick and tired, and they may even feel sick and tired and know they're sick and tired, but you know when you're tired is when you begin to act. You're not just thinking it, you're not just saying it, you're not just pump faking, you're not just making threats just to band-aid a situation that can't be fixed. You really get tired, and then you get to a point to where you don't care and you just numb and you're just done with that situation. So you could look at this as you in a relationship, and everybody know when you done with a relationship, when you have moved on internally, there's nothing that that person can say or do to get you back to be in that place to where you're open to having that full relationship again, meaning that you 100% in. Nah, you on your way out and you just waiting on your opportunity. So you got to look at it like that too, with your past, with your problems, with your fears, with your insecurities. At some point you get tired of that relationship, and you get tired of the toxicity in it, and you get tired of the chaos and the drama and the negativity and the anger and the frustration and the depression that comes with being afraid or being insecure or feeling like you don't have enough or feeling like you'll never get past what happened to you, or you'll never get past what you done, or you'll never be forgiven, you'll never be good enough. It's a draining energy that will continue to keep you down on a low vibrational state from the minute you wake up to the minute you go to sleep, because you've never left that mind state. You can go through the motions and go through the process of a day and go to your job and functioning in your relationship and halfway be there for your kids and your significant other. You do your duties, you know what I'm saying? But it's no heart in it. It's no real thought in it. It's no real intent to please others or do well. You just doing what you got to do because that's what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like all the joy is gone, all the life in you is gone. And it's a lot of people who live like that they go to work. Trust me, I was one of them, and you could seem like the happiest person in the world, but the minute I clocked out, man, I was in my dark cloud, and there was nothing good coming in and nothing good going out. And it got to a point to where I just saw nothing for myself. I saw that I was no benefit to the people around me. I saw that I was no benefit to myself. I couldn't see the best version of myself. All I saw was what the world painted me as and what I accepted and what I told myself I was, and all these things I was going through. I didn't have the perspective to look at these situations as lessons and an opportunity to get better. I was looking at them as confirmations and validations that I was a loser, that I was nothing. You know what I'm saying? And it had nothing to do with what I looked like. It had nothing to do with the money I was making. It had nothing to do with my job title as a person, as a human being, as a man. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't feel good about myself. And it took a big moment to really turn my life around and change the trajectory of where it could have been, and a lot of times that's what happens. You got to hit rock bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like that's when you truly, truly get sick and tired. It's a big situation or experience that occurs in your life that will never leave you the same. And with me, it was my suicide attempt. So I got to a point where I just couldn't take no more. And I started conspiring and listening and talking to the enemy, and he convinced me that this world will be a better place without me. So on a cold November night in 2014, I sat there and I just accepted my fate, I thought, and I didn't know what I was doing, but I just wanted to feel something. I just wanted to know that I was still here, know that I was still alive, know that I was still seen, still heard, still loved, still respected, still held of some, importance to somebody, because at that point it just didn't feel like it, you know what I'm saying? And mama, all the love mama had, all the prayers mama had, brothers and sisters, it's just, I was at that point to where I was just unreceptive to anything good, because I was just afraid that it wasn't gonna last, and I was just gonna have to at some point part ways with somebody or something that I know meant well for me. It was the story of my life, starting something and not being able to finish it, not because of me, just because of the circumstances and the situations, the trials and tribulations that I was going. And it just seemed like I was always affected by the external world, not understanding that that was a part of my battle, that was a part of my journey. I didn't get it yet because I wasn't talking to God the way I'm talking to him now. I wasn't praying the way I was praying now. I was going to church, I was listening, but I didn't have that personal relationship that I have with him now. I didn't have that trust and rapport and friendship and communication that I have with him now. So it was a lot of times where I was just feeding my own self. And then, when you thinking like that, you really listen to the enemy, and then you taking his ideas as your own. So really he getting away with murder in a sense, because he got you thinking that these thoughts and these ideas and these feelings are your own. And even though these come from your experiences, God will never put that on your heart or on your mind to end your own life or end somebody else's life. So on that night, I was just tired, man. And it was on a Wednesday. I remember that because I was watching Wiz Khalifa Day to Day. Man, I love Wiz Khalifa, bro. I don't know about y'all, bro. But during that time, he had just came and started with his vlog. And I was at that point starting to be an artist myself. So he was giving us a look behind the curtain, a look behind the scenes, and letting us inside the world of an artist in real time. So to me, it was the coolest thing to me. And then, I was part of the fan club, everything. Like one of the first ones. I remember him telling me happy birthday one year. So it was that year, and his episodes used to come out on Wednesdays every week. So I went, and I was having a bad day that day, man. I remember that bad just being extra bad. Went through that day, man, and I was like, I'm about to watch some Wiz. Video wasn't loaded. Boy, for some reason, boy, that was just like heartbreaking, because it was like at that point, I only had a few things that was making me happy, that was keeping me alive. It was like music, my babies, and really just my job at the time. I was working at a group home, working with young teenage boys, just being able to be a difference in their life. And they was getting me through some tough times. Like I needed them more than they needed me, truth be told. And I was still hooping at the time, so basketball. So it was literally a few things, bro. So if one thing wouldn't go right, I was just at that point in my life, that fragile, that sensitive, that hurt, that heartbreaking, that I was possessive over everything that I held, and I held it close. And when that episode didn't come on, it was like I kind of lost it, like had a mental breakdown. I ain't gonna hold you. And then I started listening to Janae Aiko. Like I've been on her since she first came out, so I was tearing her albums up. But she had a particular song of Saint Heron called "Drinking and Driving," and the song was basically saying exactly what I feel. She just needed anything just to feel alive, like you know what I'm saying? And it summed up my feelings perfectly. And I know that's not the point of the song, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want people to feel that way. I love that song. So now when I look at it and listen to the song, now I look at it differently, because that song brings me to a new elevation, a new life, because I know where I was at that time and I know where I am now. So that song is like a triumph, a celebration, because I get to hear it again. You know what I'm saying? That's not the last thing I got to hear in my life. I get to hear that over and over again because God gave me a second chance. So I'm listening to the song, I break down, man, I take it back because I'm like, man, I know what I'm about to do. So if anybody find me, man, y'all not about to find me stink or find me dirty. I don't mean to be funny, but I always got a sense of humor. So even in that time, that dark time, I was still laughing at myself. And literally, I took my shower, took my bath, put on some little sleeping clothes, grabbed some unknown pills. You know, they wasn't mine, you feel me? But I knew they was some strong pills. And I sat down with a glass of water and I drank water, and then nothing happened. And then I found myself taking the whole bottle, and then I felt my heart stop. And when I felt my heart stop, I prayed for forgiveness, because again, you see your life flash before your eyes if you have anything left on the table. So God showed me everything that I was about to miss out on from me leaving this earth and leaving this mission prematurely. I was gonna miss the rewards of my longevity, my life, my loyalty to the kingdom, you know what I'm saying? And he brought me to heaven. You know, I'm thinking I'm about to go and see fire and brimstone in my heart, my eyes. I know what I did, you know what I'm saying? But me asking for forgiveness and me using my last breath to cry out to God, because that's all I wanted. I didn't know how to get to him or how to reach him or how to talk to him. You know, the world, and sometimes before you understand the Bible and before you can really read the Bible and allow it to read you, and you see the lessons and the similarities in your life and the people in the stories, it could be confusing. It can make God seem such like a bad, evil, just unforgiving figure, and he's not that. He's the ultimate sign of love. And a lot of times he just want to hug you. He be talking to you and he be showing you, but we so deep in our ways and so deep in our darkness that we don't understand the light. We don't see the light because of our darkness. But thank God that he continues to be him and just have unconditional love for us, and he cherished us the most. So he brought me to him, and the first question he asked is, why did I do what I did? And I told him, I don't know who I am. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I was created. Like, everything I try to do, it doesn't work, and it leads me to feeling more like a failure with each attempt that I put my 100% in. And he was like, well, you haven't put your 100% into me. You haven't tried me. You haven't listened to the things I've been telling you to do. You haven't been trusting me at your word to get you to the best versions of yourself. And he asked me, did I see my life? And I told him, yeah. And he was like, do you still want that? And I'm like, yes. And he was like, well, you got to trust me, and you got to listen to me, and you got to follow me, and you got to stick with me, and you got to do what I'm asking you to do. You were made to do a specific thing. You were made to fulfill a specific role in the kingdom. And I need you to do that. And once you do that, you will see that that's the life that you want. That's the life that you need. And that's the life that's just going to bring you the desires of your heart. He was like, but I can't have you doing this and thinking like this. Like, I don't want you to look at yourself the way you was looking at yourself. I don't want you to think about yourself. I don't want you to feel like you can't come to me at any time, at any moment. I'm always here. I'm always watching. I'm always there. So we had a heart to heart. And he just told me, like, all that you saw, I'm going to give you that because I know that you about to do something when I give you this second chance. And I woke up on my couch, and I woke up, started crawling to the bathroom to start getting the poison out of my body. And since that day, it's been a journey. It's been a journey. And it wasn't right away before everything clicked. Like, when I came back, man, I had a new look, a new lease, but I still didn't understand my purpose. But I just kept going back to God, kept going back to God, kept going back to God, kept going back to God. And I was able to get past my situation and use all those things of what I went through, and even the conversation and interaction that I had with God, in order to help me not only in my job, but in my purpose and in real life, and then help people in real time. And then once I started doing that, and once you start doing that, and hopefully you don't have to have that type of experience in order to wake up and turn it around and really just see that you're here for a bigger purpose and a bigger reason, and the things that you're going through are not here to break you down, but to break you through and to make you better. Don't let something like that happen, because you don't know if God gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna keep you. I didn't know what was gonna be the outcome. You know what I'm saying? Thank God we serve a God who has grace, who has compassion, who looks at our heart, and sometimes not what we say and what we do. And he looks at our soul, and he looks at our spirit, and he looks at what we crying out for, even when we can't put it into words, and even we can't express it. And once you get to that point to where you could just trust God at his word, and you can give him your all and allow him to give his 100%, and then you just start seeing him clean you up one day at a time, one sin at a time, and then you start walking away from your past, right? And then now you able to live in the present, and then when you living in the present, now you able to see a clear future, because you see who you are. You recognize your worth, you recognize your value, you recognize who you was created to be, and then now you've been putting in the work to chase that best version of yourself, and then you start to see that everything God shows you and gives you, it makes sense. So you just keep doing what he's saying, and then slowly but surely your life changes, and then eventually you get to your day of destiny, and then that's your big aha moment. That's your moment where you look at all your life and you like, man, like I survived all that, I got through that. In spite of that, despite of that, God still saw me and loved me and seen me as perfect in his plan. And then it's gonna make you power up even more, and then you're gonna be able to share your life with others. So you really gonna see your life change in real time. That's how you know it's changing. It starts off small, but that's how the relationship with God start off. That's how everything starts off, just a trickle, just a drop at a time. But you gotta pour into that, so that trickle could turn into a flow, and then so that flow could be eternal. And then no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, that light gonna always be upon you. Jesus, God, Holy Spirit gonna always be with you, and then you're gonna conquer everything, and you're gonna do everything with love, and everything with peace, everything with balance, everything with sense. And then you're gonna really begin to manifest, because you're putting in the work. So really, you can't do nothing without God. You can't do nothing good without God. So you really got to have a relationship with him in order for your life to change and to see the changes. If you don't get with him, then you're just walking in circles. You're just trying to figure this thing out that you're never going to figure out by yourself. You were never meant to do this life by yourself. So the only way your life can change is you got to change your relationship with God. You got to change the relationship with yourself. You have to change the relationship with the world and with the universe and with the energy and with the frequency. And you got to figure out exactly who you are and go after that no matter what. And I'm telling you, it's a long waiting period. So it's like a 3 to 7 year period, just depending on where you are with God. See, we've already went through our wilderness. We already went through our drought. It's a lot of people having that big moment, having that rock bottom moment, and now they got to find their way to the top. So they're not going to be in the clear to after 2030 sometimes. See, our year of clarity and revelation is here now. So all the work that you've been putting in from these past years, now it's about to affect you in your present, and you're about to bring your future to you right now. And now it's going to start this chain reaction of just everything falling in line. So if you already have seen a change in yourself, if you've seen a change in how you used to be, how you used to think, how you used to react, how you used to respond to life, then understand that change is coming your way, and changes of you, and changes has become you. So one thing that doesn't need to change is your relationship and your walk with God. So just continue to do that. That's the number one thing. So you'll see it, because you'll feel it, you'll hear it in yourself, you'll look it, you'll smell it, your habits, your ways will become like God, like Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Like the Holy, you're going to want to be real clean. You're going to want to be separated. You're going to want to just do good. You're going to want to help. You're going to want to serve. You're going to want to assist. You're going to be sensitive, and your heart gonna be just open to just want to give to everybody. Like, those, when you start feeling those type of changes, that's how you know you really doing the soul work and the inner work in order to get what you want on the external, because can't nothing happen until you become a new creature within. You know what I mean? But that's how you know it's changing. You see it. And can't nobody tell you no different. This one's hard to explain because it's personal, because everybody walking, everybody moment, everybody is different, but the formula is the same. The time period, the years, the numbers though is the same. So if you just now get to that point to where you sick and tired, man, tell God and really listen to him. Let him take you on that journey. Don't, if you ain't got to hit rock, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do it, because you don't know the consequences of that. So at all times, just make sure your posture is correct with God. You might not understand him. You might not know him the way you want to just yet, but just know that he has your best interest in mind. Just know that you can trust him. So at all times, at least just give him thanks. At least just continue to ask him to just come into your life, and then just do it through Christ. You know what I'm saying? And it'll be all right. But that's how you know change is coming in your life. You feel it, you become it, you are it. Till next time, Slim.